Well, there's counseling, there's therapy.
What are they going to tell him? That's wrong. He didn't know that. He has an impulse. We now call cause number 24DCCR 764, the state of Texas versus Omar Jimenez. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Present with your attorney, Mr. Rojas, and the state's attorney is here. Earlier, you pleaded guilty to the second degree felony of illegal possession of child pornography with intent to promote child pornography. And a pre-sentence report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? And are there any corrections or changes to it?
Not from the state.
No corrections or changes, Judge.
Then it is made a part of the record for all purposes. Also, we've received some supplemental information. It looks like it's dated August 26th, 2025. And the parties had an opportunity to review that.
We have.
And there are several letters, character letters on behalf of the defendant, and also a letter from the pre-sentence officer, Jody Roach, dated August 26, 2025. And does everybody have a copy of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know that I have a letter from Ms. Roach.
That's what you got. That's his.
Is that the supplement?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
All right. Again, the sentence agreement, the agreement that was reached by the parties, whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 6 years. So we are looking at no less than 2 nor more than 6 years confinement in prison, deferred or unadjudicated probation. And also, I believe regular probation is as well an option in this case. So, state, you want to begin or defer?
I'll defer, Judge.
All right. Mr. Rojas,
Thank you, Judge.
you may proceed. Thank you.
I guess the first thing you need to look at, Judge, is that something from Ms. Roach that came in on the 26th. There's some pretty damning statements made by Mr. Jimenez in that statement, or in the supplement.
Yeah.
I would point out, first I'll address the statements about the incident with his brother. I had a chance to talk with him about that this morning and his mom. Omar tells me that those were just fantasies. Nothing happened. His mom tells me that when the investigators came out to do the investigation, the brother was taken to the Garth house and taken to counseling, and nothing was found to have happened to the brother. So at least there, nothing. Omar didn't act on those urges. And as far as the other statements in there, Judge, I mean, that I'll point out that this happened when he was 15 years old. He's 18 now. We're looking about 3.5 years ago when all this happened. He's gone on to graduate from high school. He's not gotten into any other trouble since then. And I think, Judge, if there's a case that
I'm sorry, how long ago did you say this occurred?
he was 15 years old. I might have said 2015, but he was 15 years old when it happened. I think it happened in 2022.
23.
Okay.
March 7th, 23, 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Which we can get them disposed quicker than that, but we're a work in progress.
As the court, and I know the court's read the support letters we've sent, and as the court knows, the one of the purposes of probation is to rehabilitate those that can be rehabilitated. I think, Judge, that if there's a case that screams for rehabilitation, this is that case. We could send Mr. Jimenez to prison for whatever amount of time, but the reality is he's probably not going to get the help that he can get on probation. And if we're trying to avoid further victimization in the future, the help that he needs and can get is best given, I believe, through probation.
What help do you suggest is necessary in light of an adult making a choice to uh, promote the victimization of a child by using pornography of a child.
Well, I think that's the sex offender treatment program.
What's like what?
Well, there's counseling, there's therapy.
What are they going to tell him? That's wrong. He didn't know that. He has an impulse
And
that is attractive toward illicit behavior, immoral behavior at the worst sort. How do you change
well,
a
I think,
preference in your conscience of that way? Any thoughts?
well, I've never been through a judge. I don't know what treatment's available, but I'm sure that the professionals that can deal with that. And if they can't deal with it, then, you know,
Somebody else gets victimized?
well, I think he gets a chance on probation, and if somebody else does get not victimized, judge, but if he messes up on any way on probation, then the court.
Well, he's got to get caught.
Well,
And
I mean,
pornography, like using illicit use of pornography, is generally a secretive thing. It's not done openly generally. And that's why most folks who partake in this behavior aren't caught. We know that, but the ones who are caught, it's always serious. We have 39 individual images of child pornography. That is a violation of the child every time that is viewed. Then 54 videos of child pornography and a writing about his brother. So what we have is over 90 images and videos and writings of promoting the harm to children. Each one of those is a separate harm to that child.
absolutely.
And we don't know where that ends. We don't know where it was distributed. And it becomes something that gets into the general public and accessible by the general public. And there is no end to it. The people, many of these people, most, are violated their whole life because you just can't put the genie back in the bottle when child pornography gets distributed, as we all know. But the question is, what should be done with the defendant? And not only in answering and being answerable to this crime, this serious crime, but how can we prevent it from happening? Again, if we can. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think prevention, if it can be prevented, is best suited through probation. If you read I know the court has read all the letters, and they speak to redeeming qualities and good character as far as the witnesses know of Mr. Jimenez.
Do any of those letters on his behalf express the fact that they know what happened? They are fully aware of what he is accused of?
I believe they're aware of the charges. I don't know I don't think they're aware of what the most recent supplement was to, but they're aware of the charges.
The charge.
Yes.
But have they, in all realistic fashion, they did not see these 39 images or review these 54 videos?
I don't
Well,
believe
that's going to be the test of what you think of somebody once you see that. I mean, until they can see that, they really don't know much about it. It's like me saying, do you see my hand? Do you see my hand? Do you? Do you see do you? Yeah. Or now do you see my hand? You don't see my hand until you see the whole hand. What people know about you is not complete from what your actions were. Go ahead.
so. As overwhelming, what most of the people in the letter say, that he's not beyond redemption. Uh, and I would just echo that, especially from Father Batto from Assumption, saying that he knows him well, and the counselors there know him well. And in his view, he's not beyond redemption. I mean, again, Judge, these are things that happened when he was 15 years old. Between then and now, he's not gotten into any trouble. He's not been on any electronic. His parents have kept him off electronic device, no phone, no computers. They're going to help him continue that. So that's going to be a condition of probation, I'm sure, if the court decided to grant him probation. And that's what we're asking to do, Judge. Give him one chance on probation and let him prove, get the help that hopefully probation can give him, let him prove, not only to the court, but to his family, that he can follow those rules and control those urges that the court's concerned about.
Okay. So everybody agrees that the defendant was 16 years of age on the date, March 7th, as alleged in this indictment. I'm sorry, March 7th. Yeah, he was born January 2nd, 2007. So he would have been 16 by 2 months, right?
Sure.
Everybody agree?
I mean, okay, Judge, I'm sorry. Yes.
So he was transferred to adult status.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
Judge, I struggled with going as low as I did on the offer. Mr. Rojas repeatedly talked to me over and over, and due to the age of the defendant, I lowered it down to below what I normally would on child pornography cases. But the thing that gets me is the selling. I mean, not only just looking and being addicted to it, but selling it and not even for a profit, just selling it and spreading it around. And it just listening to all these comments that he's made and sexual fantasies that he's had, and he's even had fantasies about his own brother and all the selling that he's done. I really cannot justify saying, let's try to get him some help. When this happened, I haven't heard anything that says he's gone on his own to try to get help, that all he's done is just had his mom and dad watch him on the internet. He's just waiting to see what the court makes him do. And that doesn't tell me that he's ready to be rehabilitated. It says that I'm waiting for someone to force me to get some treatment and to try to get some help. I worry that this young man, that if we leave him out and he's fooling everybody about wanting to get help, that his brother's still there in the same household, that his brother's going to be accessible to him. And those fantasies, he said, he even admitted to the police officer that if he hadn't got caught, they asked him, if you hadn't got caught when you did, would this behavior have eventually led to you touching a child? And he said, most likely. He was just that close. I cannot justify him walking out the door because of the selling, the amount of images that he was selling. I mean, one of them in the PSI was, I'm selling all these 255 these files for 25 cents. He's got all these different files. I forget how many there were that he was selling, but he's selling them for 25 cents, not even for a profit, just selling them, just to spread them around. And that's disgusting, that not only was he looking at them, but that he was spreading them around for everybody else to spread around. And that's what causes this stuff to get out on the internet and stay there. So we would ask the court to give him the 6 years in prison at the cap. I almost, when I read this memo that came in, I almost asked the court to kick the plea, but I made that deal with Mr. Rojas and his client, and I'm going to stick with it.
All right. Did you want to say anything, sir?
I just want to start off by saying,
Speak loud enough so she can hear you. She's got to take down everything. Thank
I
you.
want to start off by saying how deeply sorry I am, and how my actions affected the people, the parties involved,
How do you think they affected the parties involved?
by the emotional distraught that reading the actions that I have done.
Where did you acquire this? All these images,
on, on, on Twitter.
all of it?
Yes, sir.
So you went searching for this?
No, sir. It just came upon.
What were you doing in Twitter in the first place? Look over at me, not up there. Over at me. We're focused here. Don't be thinking of an answer. You know what the answer is.
Just be looking anything. Videos, funny videos.
And so you chose child pornography as your focus of interest. Yes or no?
No, sir.
Well,
just-
that's what happened here. How many other things from Twitter have you recorded and preserved?
Only child pornography. Sir.
Only child pornography. Only child pornography. What does that say? That's what you prefer. You're keeping it like it's a prize. How does that help you or these poor people who have been victimized? These young people. Over 90 sets of images and videos. How young do we know what the youngest child is depicted? Anybody?
I can't remember, Judge. I've been in trial all week and
I know. We do know what you write about your brother. Which is disgusting. If you're going to treat your brother this way, your own brother, a child, a little child, what would you do then? Given the opportunity to harm people you don't know and misuse their privacy. Yep. Pornography victimizes especially children, not only when it's made, but when it is promoted, used, acquired. And we call it the genie is out of the bottle. You can't ever find where it goes when it gets into the internet or the social media. And those, every time it's viewed or possessed or exchanged, those victims are re-victimized their whole life. There's no way you can put it back in the bottle. Forever it's out there or misuse, like what you did. What is normally done with this kind of behavior, because children are harmed, is that the statutes are severe and the punishment rendered, whether it's a jury or the courts, are generally most severe. Like what you've done. The difference in this case is that you were 16 when this was happening. You weren't an adult age, which is the only saving grace. It shows that's the only reason why the state did not ask for 20 years in prison. Been reasonable under these circumstances. You were what have you done since all of this came to light that has addressed this problem from this indictment that you obviously have you pleaded guilty to it, but how have you tried to address this when we caught you? What have you done to help fix this? Anything at all?
Went to the Our Lady of Assumption Church to find help, specifically with Father Kevin. And Father Kevin said I could join a CIO group, which then led me to help other people in the community, such as doing service hours, setting up parties, selling food for the greater good.
How does that help you overcome your preference for child pornography? What does that do? It seems to put you into an environment where more children and young people could be abused, right? No, I'm talking about what are you doing in your mind? What are you doing about your preferences to steer away from child pornography? And we're talking about infants, some infants. What do you do? What are you doing? Going to a church function, what does that do for you? How does that help this? How does that undo the harm? How does that prevent you from doing more harm? Well, tell me. You had a plan. What is it? Just not to go to parties and social functions. What else? What are you doing to try to fix this? You don't have a plan, really, do you?
Judge,
You might not be mature enough to know what of a plan, but you're old enough to get in trouble.
page 1 of the pre-sentence report, the next to the last paragraph, shows that some of the videos I had was from infant to approximately 8 years of age for some guesstimation.
How horrendous is that? I mean, that's unspeakable. When you were asked by Sergeant Lyon, who was the investigator in this, well, it looks like one of the lead investigators. He stated that he doesn't think you will succeed on probation because, among other things, you admitted to selling the pornography for monetary purposes, as well as your own prurient interests. Who did you sell this stuff to? Who did you sell this to?
Random people on the internet.
Sir?
Random people on the internet.
How?
Right.
So you made money out of this.
Yes, sir.
When he asked you if viewing child pornography was sexually gratifying to you, he says you shook your head yes. I'm sure he meant you nodded yes. But is that true? You made an affirmative response
Back then you told him.
when he asked you that? That's what he says here in this report. Is he lying?
No, sir.
Okay. Also, you have expressed further concern that you have admitted to having thoughts of harming your little brother. I don't need to go into details of what we're talking about here. Your own brother? Okay. By the way, he's 8.
He's 11 now, Judge, at the time.
He was 8 at the
At the time.
time all. Okay. Anybody want to add anything else?
Awesome.
No, Judge, just to reiterate that time of the offense, he was still a teenager and still developing his brain, and just ask the court to take that into consideration.
I took that into consideration with the offer I made.
How long will you, does he have any credit for any time in custody right now?
He was in juvenile for about 4 months. I think he was not in jail maybe a day or two. I wasn't counting. I think just doesn't have any credit, any jail credit, Judge.
Oh. Here's what the court is going to do. And we have two cases pending. He's pleaded to one. Is one going to be dismissed? All right. There's nothing further. The court is going to make the following findings that the defendant who again was 16 years on at the time of the event alleged in the indictment, which is the same on both, has pleaded guilty to this second degree felony of illegal possession of child pornography with intent to promote by delivery and transference, as alleged in the indictment, of the visual depiction or depictions of children younger than 18 years of age who were pictured engaging in sexual conduct, namely actual deviant sexual intercourse. It's about as disgusting and horrifying for any parent to think of, that a child, their child, would be victimized such as that. But you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 6 years. The court is going to suspend that. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which not only are relevant to this type of offense, but we're going to need to be creative on some strenuous conditions that target your preference toward child pornography and harm to children. You will, as a condition of probation, serve 180 days in the county jail. This does not go without confinement. This is most serious, deemed the most serious, but the statutes still allows probation in spite of the seriousness of the type of crime it is. The court finds, because of your age, this is a fair and just method of handling this. But you have a conviction. You will go to jail. These are prices that anyone should pay for the harm to a child or children in this case, a most serious harm. Yes,
There were several recommendations in the pre-sentence report. We'd ask that those be applied.
and the court is going to apply those to the conditions of probation, and a copy will be provided to the probation officer. And I have that thing here just then. And I've got all the letters and the probation cover, but where's that, Mr. Laird?
It's in the pre-sentence report at the back.
It may be already on the papers, but if you don't have probation papers though, do you?
No,
Okay, we'll have to draft them
stand
up.
by.
Or maybe they're attached there. There you go.
Yeah, on page 4, 5, and 6 of this pre-sentence report, which is made a part of the record for all purposes, by the way. The probation office has set forth 24 recommended conditions of a supervision plan that will be applied to the probation, to the other probation terms that are normal and customary for people placed on probation for this type of offense, but this supplements it. Successfully completing an approved sex offender treatment program provided by a licensed sex offender treatment provider. No contact with children under 18 without authorization of the court. Submit to a sex offender assessment. Submit to polygraph examinations at any time at your cost in regards to whether you are failing to follow the terms and conditions of probation. Register with the sex offender tracking program. Submit a DNA sample to the Department of Public Safety. You shall also pay a fine each month under Article 42A 653 subpart A of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, which is credited to the sexual assault program of the state of Texas. Avoid entering or approaching within 1,000 feet the premises or places where children gather, including schools, schoolyard, playgrounds, parks, amusement, arcades, daycare centers, youth facilities, or public swimming pools. Avoid supervising or participating in any program that includes participants of 17 years of age or younger, and that regularly provide athletic, civic, or cultural activities. Do not possess any printed, photographed, computer generated, or sexually recording images or recordings which record sexually stimulating or sexually oriented material, which is defined as obscene under Article 43.21 of the Texas Penal Code. Nor go to on the premises of or patronize any places where such material or entertainment is available. Do not subscribe to or use any online computer services, bulletin board systems, social media network platforms, networking services, interactive messaging apps, or photo video sharing apps through means of any electronic devices, including but not limited to computers, cell phones, or gaming consoles, either at home, work, and unless approved in advance by the supervision officer in the probation office and the court. You will allow the probation officer unannounced examination of all electronic devices that you have access to. You will apply in person to the Texas Department of Criminal public safety for an original or renewal driver's license and thereafter renewed license annually in accordance with Article 42.016 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. You shall pay a fine of $100 to the County Child Abuse Prevention Fund. You will be ordered to remain in your home from 6 p.m. through 6 a.m. on certain nights, which will be reviewed with you, where children have are known to access, for example, like Halloween and other holidays. You must wear a probation issued identification bracelet during hurricane season so that when you may evacuate, you will be identified by your bracelet. Perform 800 hours of community service. Do not accept any positions in employment where you will have access to anyone under the age of 18, and you will be at home curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. each night except for purposes of employment. You will be placed on the intensive supervision probation caseload until otherwise ordered. Complete a job search, submit to substance abuse assessment, abstain from all intoxicating substances, and submit to screening for drugs and alcohol. You understand these terms, and they will be reviewed with you. Failure to follow these can result in revocation of probation. These terms of probation, you can be revoked and sentenced up to 6 years in prison. You understand what you're facing and what you must do to fix all of this. Follow these requirements. So, anything else?
Just clarification on the no contact with minors, since the 11-year-old brother still is living in the home, so I can tell the parent, but should they make arrangements for one of them to be out of the home?
Number one, the parents need to be fully aware of what has been admitted to by the defendant in regards to his thoughts about his sibling.
His mother knows about that, Judge.
What's state saying?
Judge, one of his fantasies is about his brother.
I know. What do you do? Well, what are you suggesting?
Well, they can make arrangements for, he's graduated high school of age now. He can move out. He can find somewhere else to go. I'm sure they've got relatives he can stay with or somewhere he can be. Until we get him some treatment, I don't know if we need to let him be.
How old is that child right now? How old is your brother?
11.
What are you asking?
Well, we've got
This is a first impression in 18 and a half years as a judge on this fact
I just
situation.
think
I've never really thought deeply about this.
And I have
It's realistic, but it is. It's always a possibility, but you never know until it happens. Yeah.
It's like, they can make arrangements for homeowner to find someplace else to live. They can have 6 months to do it. They can do that if that's the order of the court. I just wanted to know if that's.
I'm not going to order him not to have contact with the child. I'm going to order him not to have contact with the child when he's alone with the child.
Okay.
He can't be with the child unless his parents are around.
Can we make sure when he starts sex treatment, if the counselor recommends something different,
Yes.
we can readdress this?
Defer to what the experts will say on that and what they recommend. If they do that, you want a hearing on it, we'll address it.
Yes.
I just don't know if I've checked off all the boxes on this one. That's what I worry about. Is there something we're missing here to prevent future harm to others, sir? But let me say, you step 1 inch out of this box, we'll have you back here for a revocation hearing. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Okay.
I need signs. Is it here?
On there.
Oh, you need a minute?
Yeah, I can't. I feel like it's already in there.
I'm sure you got it when you.
Just like say, right now, put it right, so straight up.
Judge wins his 180 days starting with it today.
Yep,
Don't twist it, just put it
Lift up.
right there.
okay, we're gonna do two more, but you're just gonna
Just-
tap it in the ink and then go flat, straight on the, yeah, there you go. Just anywhere on the thing, but just straight up and down.
Right there, just.
Yep.
Look,
Okay,
look, just do this right, just.
Stand by.
yeah,
Up and
like,
down.
use your thumb flat.
Down and down. There you go.
Oh, come on, give me one more like that, right?
Just like that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Charlie,
Yes,
this sex offender registration admonishment is not completed.
oh, yes.
I think it's on tablet. It might
I
not.
thought I
have
did
been.
sometime.
Um,
I don't know if they had it on the system back then. When we just updated.
Mr. Jimenez, you have pleaded guilty in this case voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted at your earlier plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense of illegal possession of child pornography with intent to promote child pornography, a second-degree felony, and following this agreement, you were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 6 years. That will be suspended, and you will be placed on regular probation for 10 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which will be reviewed with you, which include sex offender registration and terms and conditions of probation, which we have tried to produce here to not only protect others from your past behavior that you have capability of committing, but also to assist you in changing your behavior to conform to the laws, especially sex offender laws dealing with child pornography. Make sure you follow those conditions of probation. I've already told you what will happen if you fail. Do you understand what has occurred today, sir?
Yes, sir.
One other case is to be dismissed, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And you will be ordered also as a condition of probation to serve 180 days in the county jail. How is that to be done?
But today, when we talked about this, you know, you can go to the jail, you will fit it.
Do you work? Are you employed?
Yes.
We can do weekends.
I'm
Gonna,
gonna have two
gonna last a long time.
in the 36 stuff.
Yes.
6 months, 30, or 22, 30. That's right. It's something big, I think. Usually. If you have 6 months, you can do 6 months. The church of the show, you can so the jack of this. This one, that's why. 30. That's why I did that. Yeah, Judge, if you'll allow me, about the other weekends.
Okay. That begins on or before 6 o'clock this Friday, and every Friday thereafter, you must report to the county jail on or before 6 o'clock PM, and they will release you for Monday morning. And you will do that each weekend until you have served 180 days consecutive weekend credit time, a total of 180 days. All right. Please see the probation officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.